George Orwell, 1984, said the party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. We have an entire party and an entire following of people that stands loud against one side denying jumping through a hoop for a congressional subpoena and screaming that the evidence has to be out before the election. Because if our president, who's running for re-election, did something wrong and committed a crime, it needs to come out before the election so the voters have all the information when they make their vote. Yet the person he's running against has more than 90 indictments, almost $1 billion in tax fraud, business fraud, is currently in a criminal trial for election interference and fraudulently manipulating books, which actually has tax implications too. Has a trial, a RICO trial, with a minimum of 5 years in jail. Minimum. 7 people turned state's evidence against him, as well as 2 federal cases. The federal cases: stealing, hiding, selling international security secrets and classified documents. There are people, including his White House chief of staff, who turned over so much evidence, documentary evidence, proving the investigation to be accurate, correct, molded the investigation. Evidence upon evidence upon witnesses upon evidence. And these same people insisting on hearing interview tapes of Joe Biden to prove once and for all that he's old. But they are okay with all of this evidence, including Donald Trump's closest confidants for decades, documents from them. You can't get more direct evidence against somebody than evidence from the person who committed the crimes with them and a couple of times went to jail for those exact crimes, like Michael Cohen, like Alan Weisselberg, for the current case that just rested the prosecution's case today. They don't want to see any of that. They're refusing to see any of that, as they chase our president for 16 months with zero evidence, costing taxpayers $2 million a day. And every witness either worked directly for the government, the Russian government that is, or was paid by Kash Patel, Donald Trump's crony, who happened to show up at his criminal trial the other day talking about fake evidence, ironically. It's not to mention leading an insurrection against our democracy, our country, and calling the people who broke windows and broke into our most cherished national monument, landmark, most important government building in the country, broke in, broke stuff, defecated on desks. This man running for office is defending all those people, is defending the people who took flagpoles, an unalived police officer, seriously injured, causing other unalives. They're defending them. There are Congress people defending them. There are senators defending the actions of January 6th. There is a federal trial being delayed by a crooked Supreme Court. Every little bit of this was done by one side of the aisle. Every bit. And every little bit of this is taking away rights, women's rights especially, but everyone else's rights as well. They just are so blind they don't see it yet. There is one solution, and only one solution. That is to make damn sure we vote blue all the way down the ballot. Every single of-age voter in this country needs to vote blue. And make sure we at least have a democracy past this next presidential term, so we can keep voting. And for all of you who don't believe the bullshit that Donald J. Trump says about what he wants to do, remember one simple thing. Less than a week ago, he offered all of the oil companies, for the price of $1 billion, to write their own regulations concerning the petroleum business. And all of those regulations that they want, that were already written in the last week, that's been subpoenaed. The Senate will investigate it, but the elected Republican officials in the House will not. You know what's up at stake right now in 2024? The House. So you want to find out if Donald Trump literally just sold all of the regulatory power about the oil industry directly to the oil companies? You want to find out if he actually did that? Make sure the Senate and the House are Democrats. Make sure. That doesn't mean everyone's guilty. It means there will be an investigation that will be followed through till the end by both Republican investigators and Democratic investigators, just like these investigations already are. But it doesn't fit the narrative, so let's call everybody involved Democrats. This is a game, ladies and gentlemen. This is what he does. And he has enough people to have his back in the positions of power to lie and protect them. It is time to take our country back. And the best way we could do it is make sure we vote. So let's make sure 2024 is blue from start to finish. Stay diligent, stay educated, be kind. We are all in this together.